Bridget Ziegler joins us about Sarasota Public Schools. What's going to happen on Tuesday? I thought Governor DeSantis is on top of this. His administration is on top of this. Don't tell me we have any questions or there's miscommunication down to the deck plates of the school system about cooperating with ICE in these situations, ma'am.
Well, I would agree with you. I think Governor DeSantis has done an incredible job, and the AG, and as well as our president. But it does matter what happens at the local level. We have a very liberal activist school board member who just spearheaded or headlined an anti-ICE rally last week. And their goal of the progressives is to utilize this issue of enforcing lawful immigration, which is what this country voted overwhelmingly for, to use it to incite violence or also to incite the polarization. And so what he did is headlined this rally to question whether or not the processes that we have in place to oblige by the law and enforce the lawful orders of working with all law enforcement agencies to fearmonger and create questions. As such, as a responsibility, I think it's important that we send a very clear message to our community that we do follow the law, that we will work with all law enforcement agencies to ensure the safety of our students, staff, and campuses. I think progressives look at this as an opportunity to really polarize, and we have to stop them dead in their tracks because we don't need them. We don't need them using that kind of incitement to empower the activists anywhere, whether it be any local government or inside schools.
So what's going to happen? You know, you've got a great MAGA base down there. I'm not so sure about some of the leadership in the GOP, but what's going to happen? You're going to force a vote on Tuesday to make sure that the school board is on board for this, that there's no ifs, ands, and buts, no excuses if anything happens?
Correct. So I have put forward a resolution that cites that we reaffirm our commitment to working with all law enforcement agencies and that we will hold accountable school board members and any member of staff that seeks to impede or interfere with that action, which is the law. I think it's a very easy common sense vote, should be a 5-0. It is, again, we have a split board, even though we're overwhelmingly conservative county. Trump won overwhelmingly, but we have a 3-2 majority conservative and a very activist progressive group, but then a very weak leadership when it comes to our Republican Party. I will say that I'm very disappointed in our local chairman. He has done nothing. They've been absolutely silent on this issue, which is a national, state, and local issue, as you noted. The Democrats immediately mobilized and already put protests in place. And again, our local party chairman has been silent. And he's one of those, I think it's important to note, Steve, our chairman is one of those that has really hates MAGA. He feels very threatened by them. And as we saw in some other areas of the country and state, he pushed out all of the America First patriots and anyone who is for MAGA because he wanted to protect his position. He felt threatened. And right now, this is where we need our local parties to step up. And that's why your precinct program is so essential, where it really allows us to make sure every corner of our country, of our communities are activated, because this is not a election cycle thing. This is something we have to be focusing on every single day in perpetuity to save our country.
Big time. Bridget, what's the call to action right now? Because this vote, the local papers is always picking up, and they're going to make this a national situation and try to undercut Governor DeSantis and what he's trying to do to make sure that the state government and the local government are working with ICE and not devolve into a situation like Minneapolis, particularly in pockets of progressivism in Florida. Of course, you guys aren't, but that's how these activists work. What's the call to action?
Well, first and foremost, it is to make very clear that we're not talking about people are raiding schools. We're making sure that we are going to be working with law enforcement to ensure safe collaboration, to ensure safety and the least amount of disruption. They want to incite fear and say people are going to come in with guns and steal your kids. Not going to happen. People need to go and you can go to my page at Bridget A. Ziegler on Twitter, or you can watch the debate on Facebook. But we need people to, one, they should look at this resolution and look at adopting it at their local community and reach out to their local school board members to say that this is something we need to be focused on to ensure the safety and make sure that we're abiding by those laws.
We got 30 seconds. What's your Twitter again? Just give it a little slower so people can get to it.
Bridget A. Ziegler. And you can also find me on Facebook at Bridget A. Ziegler. And again, that's where a lot of the very candid debate is. But we look forward to seeing a successful resolution adopted on Tuesday.
On Tuesday. Bridget Ziegler, thank you, and keep fighting.